And welcome inside the Walter Price Fitness Center on the campus of Everett Community College for semifinal number 2 of the men's NWAC championships here on STSPN. Thanks for joining us. I'm Justin Morrison alongside Scott Oshman. Steve Willits will join us on the sidelines in a little bit. An exciting game number 1 tonight between the Big Bend Vikings and the Spokane Sasquatch. Spokane coming away with a first win for them over Big Bend on this season, and no better time to do it than right then, earning a spot in the championship game. They will play one of these two teams, the Whatcom Orcas from the NWAC North Division. They come in with a 22-9 record, 8-6 in league. They finished second in the North Division behind Peninsula, and they take on the defending champions, the Clark Penguins from Vancouver, Washington. They were the NWAC South Division champions, finishing one game ahead of Clackamas. They had a record of 23-7, 12-4 in league. And we are all set here for what should be a great contest. We welcome in Scott Oshman. Scott, hopefully this game lives up to game number 1 tonight. We saw an up-and-down affair between Big Bend and Spokane. What do you expect to see tonight between these two teams?
Well, these two teams, again, the Clark Penguins, as we said, they're the defending champions, and there's a reason why they got to the semifinals, because they are so balanced. They have 5 players, average double digits. Then their depth, they can take 9 off the bench, easily have a big night. And so that is the challenge for the Whatcom Orcas. But you know what? It's not sometimes, we've said that again, it's not who you play, it's when you play them, and they're playing absolutely on fire, their best basketball of the year. So it should be a great matchup as we just had in the first semi.
Yeah, the game number 1, semifinal number 1 tonight, we saw the number 1, number 2 scoring teams in the entire NWAC tonight. We see the number 3 scoring offense in the league. That's the Clark Penguins. They average 91 a game. But a contrast in styles as they go up against the Whatcom Orcas, who are second in the NWAC in scoring defense at 68 points per game. And part of that, Scott, is they got a big man inside.
Oh, yeah, it's not too often. We had one the other night for Highline, but you don't see a 7-footer, a big fella, anywhere in any gym, but let alone here at the Final Four at the NWAC.
Yeah, that is Logan Schilder, the center for the Whatcom Orcas. We are just about set to go here. We will run through the starting lineups tonight for both teams. Let's start with the Whatcom Orcas. As we said, they finished second in the NWAC North. The lineup that Coach David Dunham puts out tonight: at guard, number 1, Leif Anderson, a 6'1 freshman from Bellingham, Washington. That'll be a theme here for the Orcas as we go through their lineup. Leif played for Seaholm last year. At the other guard position is number 11, Dion Thomas. He's a 5'8 freshman. He's out of Kent, Washington, went to Kent Ridge High School. He is the team's leading assist man. He will run the show for David Dunham's crew. Matthew Seymour occupies another guard spot. Number 13, a 6'3 sophomore guard from Thunder Mountain High School in Juneau, Alaska. The one guy that isn't a Washington native in the starting lineup comes all the way down from Juneau. In the post for the Whatcom Orcas, we talked about him in the open, number 15, Logan Schilder, 7 feet. It'll be hard to miss him out there on the court. He's a freshman center from Bellingham, played his high school ball at Bellingham High School last year. He averages almost 2.5 blocks per game. And finally, in the Whatcom starting lineup, the other postman, number 42, a 6'7 sophomore from Linden, Washington, Isaac Remmer, who went to Linden Christian High School. He averages 9.7 points a game for the well-balanced Whatcom attack. For the Clark Penguins, head coach Alex Kirk leading his team to the NWAC Men's Division Championship last year. His team is trying to repeat a feat that is very rare, but he's got his team in a great spot here with a chance to do it tonight. His starting lineup will be as follows. Number 1, Ryan Berg, a 6'2 sophomore guard from Tigard, Oregon, averages 17.3 points per game. The other guard, number 3, Darius Mathis, a 6'1 sophomore guard all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Darius Mathis He runs the point for Coach Kirk's team. He also averages about 4 assists per game. Another guard for Clark, number 4, Glenn Barrell, 6'4" sophomore from Richmond, California. A Washington native also in the backcourt, number 5, Micah Paulson, a 6'1" freshman guard from Vancouver, Washington. Didn't venture too far to play for Coach Kirk's team. And also rounding out his starting 5, Devin Hawkins, number 15, a 6'4" sophomore forward from West Lynn, Oregon. We're just about ready to go and get things tipped off here in semifinal number 2. Our referees tonight for this contest, Darren Drake, Jim Appleby, Reese King. We can see the intensity right now from the Clark huddle. Scott, very excited here to get this second semifinal started.
Great atmosphere. We saw that in the first semifinal. It's fun to be in a live gym, a hot gym, rocking and rolling here, ready for some big-time basketball.
Let's go down to Steve Willits on the sideline.
And this Clark team beforehand. This is a team that won the championship last year. We got a chance to meet Alex after the game yesterday. A lot of fun to interview. Very relaxed. A lot of smiles from that side of the bench for the last 3 or 4 minutes. High-fiving guys. They're very loose. You can tell they've been here before. Let's see if it pays off for them as the game tips off.
All right, we will keep an eye. Thank you, Steve. We'll go back down to Steve as much as we can here tonight. Getting set to tip it off, obviously, Logan Schilder in there trying to match up against him, Glenn Barrell.
Look at the height.
Yeah, let's see the contest here. Good effort, but it will be it'll be Watcom that wins the tip. As we said, running the point, Deion Thomas around the perimeter. Little 3-2 zone defense here. Shot up by Seymour off the mark. And the rebound grabbed by Barrell. Clark pushes it up court. Right to the rim. Dangerous pass in the corner. Corralled nicely by Hawkins. Hawkins goes back to Mathis. Little zone look two from Watcom.
It's kind of a matchup zone. It looks like they're keying on Mathis a little bit.
Drive into the paint by Paulson. Kick out. Open three. No good from Mathis. Rebound. Grabbed by Seymour.
Always a little jitters here, Justin, as these teams get going. You'll see some little bit of the cold wear off here from the shooters. We'll see who's hot early.
Thomas is pointing out where he wants the screen set by Reamer. Thomas with the ball back, picks up his dribble. Three-pointer on the way, rattles in. That is Leif Anderson with the first bucket of the night for Watcom. They're up 3-0.
Nice patience there by the Orcas, working around the rim, not getting too greedy, not forcing anything.
Now an open look straight away. Three-pointer attempt is up and good. That is Devin Hawkins, who knocks down that three-point shot. Just a 37% three-point shooter, but he looked confident shooting it right there.
Oh, deadly. A lot of confidence beyond the line.
Dangerous cross-court pass. Good ball movement. In and out. Three-pointer from the corner. That one rattles around and drops. Matthew Seymour knocking down the second three for Watcom. They're back up 3. And there's a turnover. Unforced, as Darius Mathis was trying to find Brian Berg in the corner. Trying to find Micah Paulson in the corner and threw it away.
Be interesting to see how Clark adjusts here. If they start getting hot from outside, they extend that defense. You can see they're kind of playing inside the arc.
Lob up to the big man, just a little out of his reach, couldn't corral it. They were looking for Schilder, but couldn't find him. Nice behind-the-back dribble by Mathis. Back out another three for Hawkins, and it's good again.
Oh, boy, he likes it. He's going to pull up stakes right there at the top of the key.
Nice ball handling by Thomas as Mathis tried to sneak in. He saw Thomas looking to his bench to get some instructions from the coaching staff, but Thomas knew he was coming. Handoff around outside, inside to Schilder. Back out to Thomas. He will shoot it. Off the mark. Nice rebound, one-handed board by Darius Mathis, and he's fouled as he comes down with it. A reach-in foul. They're going to get Matthew Seymour for Whatcom.
Seymour, he was quick to put his hands up. He knows that's a kind of a silly foul. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him, but clear, great rebound there. He just needs to turn around and head down court and get him next time.
You saw Thomas pull the trigger on that three. Not really his game. He's a 31% three-point shooter. He only averages 7.3 points per game, but he is 5th in the NWAC in assists. Nice left-handed drive and the basket. Brian Berg absorbed the contact and finished. Strong move by the young man.
I was wondering how long here, 16:44 left in the first half before Brian Berg got into the action. He is just a prolific scorer, averaging 17 plus a game. The Penguin offense runs around Berg.
Yeah, he had 26 big points last night. He was 13 of 14 from right here at the charity stripe, and he's good on his first effort tonight. Substitutions, wholesale changes for Clark. As checking into the game is Alerte, Stevens, and Bays. 9-6 an early three-point lead for the Clark Penguins. They apply some pressure. Whatcom has handled it well so far, and they break it here again, no problem.
Orcas last night, they did go down into Schilder in that first half. As you just see him getting the ball there. Good look.
Terrific pass from Schilder, who can survey the defense pretty easily from that 7-foot loft. Great pass underneath, and the finish by Anderson.
You think it's obvious for great vision because he's so tall, but it's still, you have to have great vision around the court, no matter what your size is.
That was Bays who's off the mark on his three-point attempt. I completely agree, Scott. It's one thing to have vision, but you need an awareness level to go with that vision. Turnover. Clark pushes it up court the other way. Anderson to Alerte. Another three-pointer and another hit for Devin Hawkins. 3 for 3 from behind the three-point line to start this game. He's built the Clark lead up to 4.
You think you want to deny the ball? You think you want to get out on some D? Look out, Hawkins.
How many does it take? Little 1-3-1 now, it looks like, from Clark. Zone matchup. There's Thomas getting inside, kicking it out. Three-pointer, no good. Battle for the rebound, and it's the 7-footer Schilder who comes away with it. Gets it back out to Anderson to reset. Schilder is unattended, down low, wanted the ball but didn't get it.
He was wide open for the alley-oop, just didn't get a heads-up look from the front court guard there. Thomas.
Anderson will shoot, and he will hit. Leif Anderson matching Devin Hawkins shot for shot here early on. It's a 1-point Clark lead after that three-pointer from Anderson.
Well, at least now they don't have to hear from head coach about how open he was.
Great backdoor cut there by Berg, but he couldn't finish.
It's just a little intimidating. You're going, you got a clean look, and here's a 7-footer with his paw in your grill. That'll make you change your shot, Justin.
Yeah, always in the back of anybody's mind when they go inside and Schilder's in the game. Good ball fake now as they go inside to Schilder. Had trouble handling it. Last touch by Clark. More substitutions.
That's a great
for the
job.
Penguins.
Yeah, defensively there. That's what they go. They go down to Schilder's. That's the responsibility for that guard. He's got to help out. He's got to go down and get that quick double and make a decision where he's going to go with the ball. 14:30 left.
Timeout on the floor. 1-point lead for Clark. We'll be back. You're watching NWAC Championships on SDSPN. Penguins from Clark College on top of the Whatcom Orcas by 1, 12-11, thanks to 9 early points from Devin Hawkins, already exceeding his season average here, just 5.5 minutes into this contest. How long till you think they address that, Scott?
Well, I think that's probably been addressed in the timeout for sure. And head coach David Dunham in his 3rd year said somebody put at least a face in the guy or a hand in his grill, make a tough shot for him.
He has checked out of the game, so they don't have to worry about him right now. How about that move inside? No finish. Battle tip for the rebound is controlled by Clark. That was Bays getting the rebound underneath, and now handing it off to Stevens, bringing it up court. Open three-pointer on the way, off the mark from Paulson, but he tracks down his own rebound. In the corner, inside the line, that's Barrel, no good. Flying in for that rebound was Reamer, and Watcom back up court looking to take the lead.
Clark, always a quick trigger. That's why they are one of the top scoring offenses in the NWAC.
Thomas might have got away with the travel there as he ball fake. Big fan of the ball fake right there. Gets a pass deflected. This is Reamer turning. Good hands underneath by Bays, knocking it out of bounds.
The smalls, the guards are doing a good job on Watcom. They're doubling down when that ball goes down to the block. They're doing an excellent job getting down there to help.
7 on the shot clock for Watcom. Leif Anderson realizes it. Ball fake, pull up. It's good. The lefty making it look easy right now. He's given the Orcas a 1-point lead, 13-12.
That was cold-blooded Paulson right there to defend.
This is Berg, short. Rebound is in the hands of Dion Thomas. He does a good job. We talked about him distributing the ball at 4.5 assists a game. He also pulls down nearly 5 rebounds a game. It's part of the duties of a guard is to get in there and collect some of those rebounds.
Watcom here.
Inside to Schilder, being harassed from behind, and we're going to get a foul called. Bays from behind on the arm.
12:59 left to go in the first half, Justin. So quickly, it's interesting because Watcom trying to be patient, and when they get it inside to Schilder, it's interesting to see what he does with the ball. He's not attacking as much as he did last night in their win, but we'll see what happens as he's posted up big.
Yeah, he has a definitive size advantage. I mean, that's always going to be the case as a 7-footer, but I think the tallest guy for Clark goes 6'6", and that's Bays who's on him right now. There's a missed 3 hauled in by Paulson. Good rebound for Clark. Up ahead, this is Mathis, who's checked back into the game. Good job, because he had nowhere to go. Tough turning shot off glass by Paulson. Restores the 1-point lead for Clark.
That's a varsity move, Justin.
That is a varsity move.
Boy, these boys came to play tonight.
Much better shooting in this game, second semifinal, compared to the first semifinal of the night. Here's a battle underneath. Schilder's tip would not go. He got another rebound, and he got fouled on his way down. I don't think this is a shooting foul. It's not. Glenn Barrow will be whistled for the foul. It's his second. He'll have to take a seat.
That's what I like to see by your big guy. Again, just a freshman learning how to deal with the size and want to get some steaks and shakes into that guy, get him some LBs on him. But you like to see the aggression down in there taking control. That should be his palace.
Leif Anderson.
And
inside to Reamer, Schilder underneath, big slam and the foul.
I was just about to say, when they pull that zone, they have been teasing him behind the back line of that zone on the baseline. They finally find the right angle to get him the ball, and look what happens. Good things.
Yeah, that free throw line, one of the most dangerous spots defensively for a zone. They become very exposed, and right there, Schilder took advantage of that opening. Free throw is good, and it is a 15-14 lead for the Whatcom Orcas. There's Mathis. Out, Bays thought about it twice. Third time he will shoot it. Tried to bank it in, or maybe he didn't try to bank it in, but it's off.
Well, they need Hawkins back out there. He can't miss from beyond the arc. The rest of the team now 0 for 4, maybe 0 for 5.
Overplay led to an open look and an open hit from Matthew Seymour. He can fill it up from behind the arc, and Clark is going to use a timeout early. They find themselves down 19-14. A reminder here, Everett Community College NWAC basketball tournament, EVCC trivia time. Why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? Answer at EVCC. Faculty know your name and care about your future. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. We'll be right back with more NWAC championships right here on STSPN.
I'm Chef Lombardi, and I teach at the Inland Northwest Culinary Academy here at Spokane Community College. Part of the competencies in our pastry arts and culinary program is service learning, where students actually go out in the community, share what they've learned. We're very proud of where our graduates are working. You'll find them in all aspects of the hospitality industry, locally and in the Pacific Northwest. You get to see them have success. I'm Chef Lombardi. This is my college and my community.
Back here inside Walter Price Fitness Center, the Clark Penguins find themselves in an early hole. The Watcom Orcas' sharp shooting here has them up 19-14 with 11:20 left to go. There's a tough runner in the lane. That's missed by Stevens, but an offensive rebound for Clark. Three-pointer with a little hesitation. Not sure why, because Mathis made it look easy, knocking down the open three.
They gave him space. Anybody against other than Hawkins hitting one is a good thing for the Penguins, and they made him pay.
A little bit more man-to-man now. First time we've seen that tonight from Clark. Anderson is open. Got to get a hand up. That one rattled around and came out. Penguins up court. Chance to tie or take the lead. Driving to the holes, Berg, nowhere to go. Good straight-up defense by Reamer. And the Orcas collect.
They got Hawkins for Clark on the big fella. Again, giving up a lot of height, but Hawkins also a little bit more of a veteran player, knows how to position himself.
Anderson tries to go one-on-one again. Got forced out, up fake. Tough, leaner in the lane. There was some contact with the body. Seymour missed the shot, but he was bumped as he was coming down. Foul on Brian Berg for Clark will send Seymour to the line.
Again, that's one of those that head coach Alex Kirk, he's going to instruct a little teaching opportunity for his players to get, he's got a shot. He already up faked. He's in the air. It's going to be a tough shot. Why run at him and try and get a block? That's a foul that probably might not needed to happen.
First free throw up and good for Seymour. He's a 73% free throw shooter. Checking into the game for Whitman, Casey Leak. $10:17 left to go here in the first half of this game. Semifinal number 2 between Whatcom and Clark. Winner to face Spokane tomorrow night, 8 p.m. in the men's NWAC championship game.
The Clark Penguins, they played the Yaks from Yakima Valley last night. They hung with them. Here's a big three.
Aubrey Stevens can't hit from the corner. And again, another rebound for the Orcas. They're doing a good job not allowing many second chance opportunities for Clark. This is Thomas. They don't go into Schilder.
Now they're back in the zone, Justin.
Yep.
Or a little matchup with Hawkins, making sure he knows where Schilder is at all time.
Up fake. This is Seymour from the free throw line. That's good. Matthew Seymour gaining a little bit of confidence here.
Doing what you want. When you find that little crease, he's just a spot-up, pure shooter. Seymour, he found a little room, and he hits the jumper.
With those 2 free throws earlier in that jumper, he's got 10. How about that finish right there? Aubrey Stevens came into the middle, took a hit, and got the ball up to the rim and in.
Spectacular play by Stevens. He takes the hit, holds the body control, and has enough juice left in the tank to bounce it off the back and in.
Centralia College is your college for associate degrees, bachelor degrees, and job training. Apply now to get a jump on classes and financial aid. Application is easy and free. You belong at Centralia College. Visit www.centralia.edu for details. We've got a timeout on the floor. We'll be back with more of the NWAC Championships on STSPN after this.
Play with heart.
Got it.
Pass the ball. Right here.
.11 left to go first half. A good battle here between the defending champion Clark Penguins and the Whatcom Orcas. The Orcas up by 4 right now after a basket by Aubrey Stevens before we went to break that was about as good a finish as I've seen in the 2 days here, Scott.
He's got the protective shades on, no trouble seeing the rim for him. That was just an awesome display of some good playground basketball and finishing.
Stevens, a sophomore from Portland, Oregon. Free throw is up and good. He can fill it up. He averages 10 a game for the Penguins. Here's some late trapping defense as they try and catch Thomas before he gets across midcourt line. Dealt with no problem. It's the assurance of having a solid point guard who can handle the ball. It's something that the Orcas definitely have in Deion Thomas. He seems unfazed by a lot of the pressure. There's a foul out top. Darius Mathis had a one-track mind for the ball. Didn't care that he went right through Matthew Seymour to draw the foul.
Clark and head coach Alex Kirk known for this, but he's changing the D's, still staying with that matchup kind of 3-2, but they have Hawkins hanging out down low with Schilder. I'd like to see Watkins, as he gets positioned right there, get it into the big fella, let him work on the block a little bit.
Yeah, why not go to him right there? He definitely had Hawkins sealed behind him. Instead, this is Anderson. Great harassing defense by Paulson. Orcas still have it.
That's why they could do it. They have such great lateral speed out front of that 2-3.
Thomas, pull up. No, back rim and collected by Berg. Yet to see Berg really get going in this game. He will need to for Clark to have any thoughts of winning this one. This is Hawkins, 9 points already for him tonight.
Oh, he's at his spot.
Didn't look to the rim, though. Bergwill drives in. Nice pass to Stevens. Challenged, blocked, get it back. Blocked again. That second one was Schilder who collects the ball, and the Orcas bring it up court.
Oh, it takes a village, I'll tell you what. They got everybody involved on the defensive end, and they're going to get it right back.
Thomas with his first turnover of the night there didn't see Paulson sneaking in for the steal. Two kind of collided, and they end up with a ball out of bounds over to the Penguins, who trail by 3.
You see on the replay, Anderson trying to make his case, but the official right there.
Right to the rim goes Stevens. I think he was affected by the backpedaling Casey Leak, who didn't really challenge him, was expecting contact, and he didn't get it.
Stevens, he's got such great hops. He goes right to the rim, but he's gotten denied a couple times. We'll see.
With Schilder out, the Orcas still go inside. That's Reamer, 6'7". He's no slouch himself.
No, and he's thick, man. He can take care of himself down low. They're going to match him also on Hawkins.
Probably a tougher guard for trying to have Reamer guard Hawkins on the perimeter. Keep an eye on that. Paulson pulls the trigger on a 3, no. Rebound. Leak has it.
And you'll see Clark, I mean, they have the green light at all times. They're not going to get it typically down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. They just let it rip.
Under 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Deep 3 again for Matthew Seymour. Give him 13 now to match his jersey number here in the first half.
And he looks to the sideline saying, yeah, why not?
Off-ball foul called here. It's going to go against Leif Anderson for Whatcom. That is the 4th team foul for the Orcas. First personal on Anderson.
David Dunham talking to Seymour. Again, these three-point shooters, you got to extend your defense, make it a little hard, make them at least make a dribble to the right, left, do something to get them off balance, or else they're going to kill you from outside.
Again, a really poorly executed inbound play. Clark's lucky to still have the ball after it bounced around. Paulson asking for a screen. Kicks it out. Bays took his eyes off the ball. Out of bounds, turnover for the Penguins. And Watcom has the ball back, up 8.
That's an uncharacteristic turnover here by the defending champions. I mean, they have one of the lowest turnover averages in the league.
Yeah, they average just 12 a game, Scott.
Yeah.
Frustrating frustrating night for Clark right now. Inside, this is Keem. And a traveling call is going to go against Whatcom. Casey Leak, took too many steps inside.
It did a good job that you want to get into the middle of the zone, but Keene, what he didn't do a great job is getting the ball, recognizing he had 3 defenders on him and looking for the open man.
There's another turnover by Clark. That one Paulson just threw right into the waiting arms of Quinn Doherty.
There was an open man just on the other squad.
Doherty genuinely looks surprised to be getting that ball.
Again, another turnover here for the Penguins. You're just not used to seeing so many.
Clark,
unforced like that.
Yeah, Clark extending the pressure a little bit here defensively. Trying to get themselves involved here. Anderson, a deep 3 is good. Leif Anderson. Tough to guard somebody that far from the hoop, but he's given the Orcas an 11-point lead here with 5:14 left to go in the first half.
And the Orcas shooting their way into a big scare for the champion Clark Penguins.
Yeah, an early gut check right here for the Clark Penguins. We've got a foul underneath. Again, off ball, and again it's going to go against Leif Anderson. He picked up his first a couple minutes ago, his second right there. He'll sit down. He's got 13 points as well. So Leif Anderson and Matthew Seymour, each with 13, keying the Whatcom Orcas to this early lead.
5:06 left to go in the first half. See if Clark can close the gap here as you go into the end of the first.
Bays for 3. He got it.
That'll help.
Big 3 right there for David Bays from Las Vegas, Nevada. Makes it a single-digit game. Cuts the deficit to 8 for his Penguins.
There
Inside,
he goes.
good ball movement. Open 3. That rattles home.
And that's exactly what we talked about. Keene gets it. Quick shot, kicks it right out, and they knock it down.
That was Connor Kelly, his first made basket of the game here for the Orcas. As bad of outside shooting as we saw in semifinal number 1, we're seeing equally as good a shooting here tonight. That one an exception as that three-pointer rattles out and goes out of bounds. Big Bend Community College students had the highest student achievement points per student in the Washington State Community College system in 2014-15. Excellence in teaching and learning is the goal at Big Bend Community College. We'll step aside here. You're watching the NWAC Championships on STSPN.
My name is Chrissy Davis-Jones. I am the Associate Dean of Student Development at Spokane Falls Community College. I have the privilege of working with so many different types of students. And each one of them, I would definitely say, I see a little piece of myself in them. I love the fact that the community allows you to really get involved. It's a matter of choice, in my opinion. We all owe something. So in what capacity will you serve? My name is Chrissy Davis-Jones.
What do they want to look at?
We're coming back. We're going down to Steve Willits.
Well, we got the officials looking right now at a replay. Not sure exactly what they want to see a replay of. I mean, whether the ball went out of bounds off of a player or a three-point shooter on the line, maybe. I mean, those are the only things I would think that you'd want to be looking at. Regardless of what they are looking at, Watcom has a 34-23 lead. According to Steve, it's like they're looking whether there was a foot on the line for one of the last 3-pointers.
That's what they're discussing right now. And it was a 3. They're going to say official was a 3.
Let's go down to Steve. He was standing right down there as they were looking.
Yeah, not only are we bringing the game live to folks in their homes tonight, we're also partaking in the actual game itself. The referees using our footage to go back and look at the play. One of them finally looked at the screen, looked up at the other official, said, yep, that's a 3-pointer, raised his hands in the air, and now we're back to action.
An 11-point lead, thanks, Steve, for the Watcom Orcas, as they have been excellent from shooting threes tonight.
7 for 13 from beyond the arc so far for the Orcas.
Now that's exceptional shooting from 2-point range, let alone 3-point range. Clark with the ball to inbound. Up fake by Bays, nice move. Tough shot though, he got it partially blocked, and that is Leak there to haul in the miss. Sometimes tough to rebound air balls because the offense knows where it's going and the defense really doesn't, but Leak, Johnny on the spot right there.
David Dunham chooses to keep the big 7-footer on the bench here while they enjoy this lead.
And why wouldn't you? They got some good minutes from him, but no reason to get him in foul trouble. Want him for the second half. Here's a 3. Good in the foul. Chance for a 4-point play for Quinn Doherty.
And Mathis, again, there's just, it's a mental mistake here by the Penguins, and I'm sure, Alex Kirk is going to get going to talk to his team at halftime. Those are things that just happened this first half. He runs at him there. He's got a good look. It was a quick pop out, and he gets the foul, and now you get a chance for a free throw. And again, adding to the momentum here for Watcom.
A 14-point lead now for the Watcom Orcas. Chance to make it 15. It's off the mark. That's Hawkins with the rebound for Clark. A real gut check here in the first half. 3:44 left to go in the opening stanza. And it's the defending champions who are on the ropes right now to this Watcom team. Dribbling into the lane, left hand, no good, but a foul there as Wilson Alerte took it to the rim. A little bit of a late foul call, but it's going to go against Casey Leak. His second foul here of the first half, and send Alerte to the line.
And I think Coach Kirk, again, with Wilson Alerte in the game, he's just trying to find some energy. He's trying to find somebody who's going to hit a spark here for the Penguins, as the Penguin fans here are a little shocked that their team is taking it on the chin so far as he misses the first.
I think the fans and I think the players are a little shocked,
yes,
too. I mean, definitely they are looking around at each other, kind of wondering who's going to take the reins and try and steer them out of this deficit right now. Second free throw, well off the mark. Rebounds out, last touched by Watcom. The Orcas didn't like it, but I think that was the right call. Substitution in for Clark. Go ahead, Scott.
And if I'm the Penguins right now, why don't I just go with the early hot hand in Hawkins? Let's set up a pick, set up a play for Hawkins, who's taking the ball out, but let's get him the ball. He hasn't shot hardly all except the first moments where he knocked down 3. He hasn't even taken an attempt yet.
Here's Berg for 3, straight away and good.
Berg's okay, too.
For Brian Berg.
It's a second choice.
It turned to the man that scores 17 a game for you, and he knocks down a big 3 to cut the deficit to 11. 3:05 left to go, first half.
So fun about the 3 ball. It can get you back into many a leads. Now the big fella.
Schilder up, no good. Defense there, good defense by Miles Martin, a little used big man for Coach Kirk's team, but thinking maybe size is needed there as Paulson drives in. Good ball movement. This is Hawkins around and out.
I still like the play.
Well, sure, when you haven't missed, pull the trigger on the open 3.
So he's 3 for 4, okay.
We got a foul Underneath, it's going to go against Miles Martin as he and Schilder were tied up early in the offense there, trying to get position or trying to deny position to the 7-footer. It's the 7th team foul, though, for Clark, and Schilder will go to the line.
Martin, 6'10". They're just trying to get some height. They had Hawkins on him. They'll try all kinds of options on him as he hits the first.
Clangs around and drops. That's the 4th point for Logan Schilder, again from Bellingham, Washington. Second free throw also good. He averages 8 points and nearly 9 rebounds a game for this Orcas team. They're in front by 13.
The other conundrum here, this Clark Penguin team, last year they broke a 45-year-old NWAC record with their great defense, one of the best defensive teams they've seen in many years. The largest margin of victory was the record, so it's a little puzzling on their defensive side.
Here's Alerte with the left hand, no. Rebound off a head and into the hands of Schilder. Under 2 minutes now to play first half. Deion Thomas setting up the offense as the Orcas move the ball around the perimeter.
Just see defensive Martin there stepping out. Just a longer player able to get his hands in.
Look at Schilder take it to the rim. Rolls off. Scrap for it underneath. It bounced out of bounds. Last touch, I believe, by Schilder. Tough fight underneath the hoop there.
There you saw good help side defense from the weak side as Schilder's made a strong move, just rolled off. He took Martin right to the rim, and Hawkins came for the help side, and now they have the ball.
Dalton Lutens checks into the game for the first time for Whatcom, number 33 in black. Here's Paulson.
Go ahead.
Defense from Whatcom kind of sagging off. Letting Clark, this is Alerte spinning, blocked inside. Schilder timed it perfectly.
Oh, you better see who's inside the house when you come down low with the 7-footer there. The freshman protecting his area.
Seymour called for the screen, hand it to Thomas, drives. No call there as Thomas was looking for a foul on the body. Nice save underneath. The Schilder couldn't finish. Oh, the 7-footer right at the rim. Didn't get it up and over the rim.
Oh, a little walk of shame as he heads down to the other way. No doubt his teammates are going to give him a hard time for that one.
Look at that razzle-dazzle pass by Berg. This is Paulson. Takes it right at Schilder, who sends it right back to him.
I just don't know why they keep going inside, driving the lane. At least do a drive dish and kick it out.
24 seconds left in the half. Virtually no difference between shot clock and game clock right now. Whatcom's going to hold for the last shot. They're going to go into the halftime with a double-digit lead. It's 13 right now.
And Clark, again, if you're your head coach, Alex Kirk, you know, the Penguins have done a good job in the last 2-3 minutes defensively, Justin. They've held them. They just can't get the offensive rhythm. They keep trying to go to the lid, and they're finding the 7-footer. He's got the door locked right now.
It's just a 20-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. A reminder, your kids are on the path to reaching their dreams. Why not join them? With more than 60 programs of study at Pierce College, there's a fit for you, your life, and your schedule. Find the path at Pierce College today. Visit pierce.ctc.edu. It's possible. Pierce College. Well, Scott, I've been very impressed with the Orcas, regardless of what they come up with here on this final possession. 39 points in this first half. This is a team that averages 78 points per game. They're on pace for that right now against a very, we talked about how good a defense Watcom has, but Clark has a pretty good defense too. Here's Thomas. Throws it over his head.
That going?
Quick look at the clock. A heave, no good. Again, can't imagine that was exactly what David Dunham wanted for the final shot.
Stephen Whitman, our statistician, great point here, the story. Clark 3 for 14 when they're inside the arc tonight in the first half as we go down to Steve Willits.
We do have,
no.
Well, we got a little bit of a discussion here on the floor. I said there was virtually no separation between shot and game clock, but there was a little bit, and that shot there, that kind of poorly executed offensive play by Whatcom did not draw iron, so I would imagine they're going to be putting a second, maybe a little bit less than a second. 4/10 according to Steve, who's down there listening in. Thank you, Steve. As 4/10, well, we saw earlier tonight in a women's semifinal game, a lot can happen in 4/10 of a second.
Oh, yes, it can. And Wenatchee Valley, they were down by a bucket with 4/10. They had an inbound underneath the hoop, and sure enough, they got it in and sent it to overtime. Unfortunately for Wenatchee Valley, they ended up losing that ball game, but here you go.
That was a little less likely from the opposite end. We will go down now to Steve Willits, who has the coach of the Whatcom Orcas, David Dunham, down there. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, with Coach Dunham right now. Coach, a lot of those 3 balls going in for you early helped you build a 13-point lead.
Well, one thing is it's not over. It's not over. We got a long way to go, but it's nice when your shots are falling. They weren't falling for us yesterday. Falling today. It feels good to be up at half, but we still got a lot of basketball left to play.
And once again, a nice defensive effort, only 26 points for Clark. Anything you need to change there?
Well, honestly, I think if we kept them to 25 points in the second half, I'd be extremely happy.
There we go. That sounds like a good recipe for victory. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, we're going to keep it here for a minute, too. I got a special guest coming up with us. As you guys know, the game prior to this one, Spokane punching their ticket. They are heading to the finals. Jeremy Groth is going to join us in a minute. Jeremy is the head coach for Spokane. We're going to grab him real quick. We're getting him just in time, too, because he and the guys haven't eaten dinner yet tonight. So we're going to get Jeremy over here at the banner. Told him he needed to stick around until halftime before he takes the guys out to eat. Coach, that's going to be a dinner time coming up here. That's got to be a nice meal tonight. You guys are going to the championship.
It's gonna feel good. That food's gonna taste real great tonight, no doubt about it. Our guys are excited. They're going to Olive Garden. That's where they want to go every night, but I told them they had to hold off until they get a big win. They got a big win.
They're going to eat dinner afterwards. One guy that was eating good during the game, Levi Taylor, my goodness, 21 points in the first half.
No kidding. He's instant offense. We would call Levi instant offense. He's a spark of come off the bench. That energy he brings to our group is so valuable every time. And yeah, he's like that every night. He brings it every night. Whether the shots go in or they don't, he's instant energy too.
And obviously, it's not a one-man team. Talk to me a little bit about what other guys were doing during that game and what got you to the championship.
Yeah, well, overall, obviously, it was our defense, our effort at the defensive end. We kind of really tried to preach that. We played zone the whole night tonight. We haven't really done that before. Our guys really bought in, and they just played so extremely hard, and they literally really battled. Like we've been talking the last couple of weeks about you just battle and believe and see what happens. And our guys battled tonight, and they're really showing that. I'm really proud of their effort tonight more than anything else. It was a great team win. Levi scored the ball well, but everybody else contributed, whether they played or they didn't. It was a great team win.
If I'm looking at this correctly, it's been 16 years since Spokane's won a championship. You got close 3 years ago. You got a third in your first year as the head coach. What would it mean for you to get that championship tomorrow night?
Yeah, it means a lot for our guys, for sure. Like, I want it for our guys. That's why we coach this for our team and for our players. Our guys have worked extremely hard from last year, and we have a lot of sophomores, obviously, this year. A lot of guys went through last year. We're one game short, and they worked extremely hard all offseason, and our freshman guys coming in bought in, and our journey has been a very special one. I'm really proud of our guys, and we have one more game in us, so we'll give our best effort and see what happens.
And I'm going to ask one last question. I won't put you on the spot and ask you who you'd rather play because you're not going to answer that. But this is a Whatcom team that actually defeated you, I believe, by 4 points earlier this year. You haven't seen Clark yet. You know these teams fairly well. I mean,
whatever it is, it's going to be an all-out, drag-out war out there. It's going to be a battle, and we're just excited to be there, and we're going to make the most of it at the same time. We're still hungry. We're happy right now, but we're not satisfied. We're still hungry, and hopefully we have the same effort tomorrow like we did tonight.
Okay, once again, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, stspn.com. You can watch it here. I also encourage folks to come out to Everett Community College. Coach Groth and the team, they're going to go get some dinner right now. They'll be ready to go tomorrow night. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you to Coach Groth down there, his Spokane Sasquatch, playing for the NWAC Men's Championship tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here on STSPN. Who will they be facing? The Whatcom Orcas or the Clark Penguins? Right now a 13-point lead for Whatcom. We'll take a break and come back. You're watching semifinal number 2 of the NWAC Championships on STSPN. just about ready to start the second half here. Semifinal number 2. Whatcom and Clark, the winner to face Spokane tomorrow night. They beat Big Bend in our first semifinal of the night. Justin Morrison alongside Scott Oshman. And Scott, what do you think Clark's got to do to get back in the game here in this second half?
We talked a little bit about it. Again, you have to have faith that the Watcom shooters are not going to, they're going to cool off a little bit. And actually, their defense picked up. They're doing a good job on the defensive side. What they need to do to get back in this ball game is not, play their game. They want to go fast and take quick shots, but they have to get better looks, be more, better decision making on the offensive side, and they're going to start shooting better and stop driving in the lane when Schilder, the 7-footer's in there, get some open looks for their shooters. They got incredible scorers like we talk about through the season, double-digit scorers, 5 of them, and then they go 9 deep with 7+ per game. Plenty of guys get them back in this game.
Yeah, they do have a slew of players that can fill it up, and I think you're right. Just common sense says don't tread in the paint. As we get a quick whistle, the shot clock hadn't started. 4 seconds off the game clock, but nothing off the shot clock. And to your other point, Scott, talking about Watcom cooling down, you had the stats there. Our statistician, Steve Whitman, had the stats for how good did Watcom shoot in that first half, or Watcom shoot in that first half.
Well, they shot very, very well. 8 for 13 from 3-land. And overall, 13 for 26. So great job. 50% from the field.
Yeah, a team that usually shoots 38% from three-point range. This is Thomas missing as we commend how well they were shooting the three-pointer. There's a quick miss here to start the second half. Reamer looking for Schilder, doesn't go to him. Trying to dribble his way in, just muscles his way in, can't get the shot, but does get his own rebound to reset for Watcom.
Clark, again, they have to do all those little things as well. They got to go hard to the glass on the defensive side and offensive side. They got to box out. They got to do all the little nitty-gritty fundamentals.
Seymour, no, he had 13 in the first half, but he misses here with his first attempt in the second half.
One guy has to heat up is Berg, number 1.
Yeah, Hawkins, he had 9 in that first half on 3 threes for Clark. This is Paulson. Working his way in, cut off, back out to Hawkins. He will shoot it again. Almost banked it in, but it didn't drop, and the Orcas have the ball.
Missed his last 2 from outside. All great shooters, never shy. He'll keep pulling the trigger.
And he's got the bloodlines to say that he is a good shooter. Devin Hawkins, son of former Sonic and an NBA great Hersey Hawkins.
Look at that. He has the ball on his knee, and Berg doesn't even try to attack.
Yeah, they left him sit there on the ground as we've got a foul underneath. Reamer missed another shot inside, and I think he's going to get whistled for the foul too as the Penguins grab the rebound. They were kind of off and running, but the foul will bring it back. We're a minute 45 here into this first half, and well, that's the first foul on Watcom here in the second half.
In addition to the smart plays on offense, it just looks like Clark is a little flat right now. They got to find some way, somebody to get a spark, heated up some energy for him.
Into the middle, that's Glenn Barrell, but he can't get it to drop. He had a quiet first half for Clark. Actually yet to tally a point. A young man who averages 12 a game. Reamer to Thomas. You see, not a lot of respect for the shot from Thomas as Darius Mathis sags way off of him. Anderson can fill it up. Thomas fakes the shot, puts it down. Now he will shoot. No good. Rebound. Schilder tips it up, but it won't drop, and Hawkins has the board.
Got the stop. Now they got to make a nice offensive possession here and get a bucket.
Outside, Barrel. No. Back rim. What effort down there underneath, but it's Reamer that has it for the Orcas.
Devin Hawkins doing a nice job amongst the trees, the other trees, fighting for a rebound.
Yeah, he fought right up there with Schilder.
Yeah.
And one bounce, it could have been his ball, but Reamer was there for another rebound. Here's a near turnover. Paulson knocks it into backcourt. Seymour has it with 7 on the shot clock. Orca's got to look at the rim. Here's Anderson. Back to Seymour. He will, and it's good.
And there's an injured Penguin down. Seymour just keeps the gas down, the pedal down to the floor.
His 16th point of the night on that triple, and underneath another foul called against Reamer. It's his second of the half, but just his second of the game, too.
As you see Seymour drop that triple right there on the replay, and there's a timeout on the court.
One more time, there's Seymour knocking it down. A timeout by Coach Kirk. We'll step aside as well. You're watching the NWAC Championships on STSPN.
My counseling, she helped me plan out an entire educational plan, actually showed me more classes that I could take here at CBC to save me money instead of taking them at a larger university. Here with high school students too, so you're not only getting part of that high school experience, but you're going further and beyond that and getting a college experience, which is really cool and fun, and you're gonna expand your horizons.
EVCC trivia time. Why do some of the region's best athletes choose Everett Community College every year? Answer, look around you. They get to use this gym. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. 16:45 left to go in semifinal number 2. Watcom leads Clark 42-26. Some terrific three-point shooting, Scott, has propelled the Orcas to this lead.
Matthew Seymour for the Orcas. He's just picking up where he left off this season. He's 45% beyond the arc. You got to mitigate that. And right now, Clark Penguins just stunned. They look dazed. They're not really sure how to handle this type of adversity with this large deficit here with 16:39 left.
And Coach Alex Kirk used a timeout early in the first half. He had to use another timeout here early in the second half. Let's see how it works out. 15 on the shot clock. This is Mathis. Jumper. No good. Darius Mathis has been pretty quiet tonight for the Penguins.
Trying to shoot their way out. Now Coach Kirk clears the bench. He's going to try and see who else is available to see if their shot can go down. The shooting is just absolutely ferocious here for the Penguins.
Anderson weasels his way through, puts it up, no good. Tip by Schilder. Reamer's got it underneath. He has it knocked away from him by Berg. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Orcas.
I mean, it's Saturday night. It's the Final Four. Let's get a little fired up here.
Well, he needs it. Somebody for the Penguins needs to bring some life, some energy, as you said, Scott. But it's hard when your shots aren't dropping to manufacture that type of energy.
And again, we talked about okay, so then sometimes a lot of the strategy is if your outside shot isn't hitting as Childers goes to the line, you want to drive and dish, you want to create some activity. But it's been tough also going inside the paint. They are knocking a lot of those down, the defensive effort here by Childers in the game.
Yeah, Schilder has a couple of blocks to his name. He's got another free throw here. He's got 6 points as well. The 7-footer has also stayed out of foul trouble. He has just one personal foul tonight. Really only Reamer, I think, is probably the only guy to keep an eye on right now for the Orcas as Schilder hits his second. 44-26, an 18-point lead for the Watcom Orcas. Not a lot of people saw this type of score line for this semifinal tonight. This is Bays. He can't hit, and Schilder climbs to get that rebound.
There is a cage on the rim for the Clark Penguins tonight. Unbelievable.
Thomas. Seymour fakes the shot. He's been so effective shooting the triple. He got the up fake, had a lane, but didn't use it. Anderson goes back to him in the corner. Draws two defenders. Thomas. Down low to Reamer, one-handed, Scott.
With the right hand pinned back, I don't need it.
Just one left hand will do nicely. A 20-point lead for the Orcas.
That's the night Watcom is having.
Tough move by Stevens and really a wild shot. The Orcas will be happy to let Clark put those type of efforts up to the rim all night.
Watcom trying to keep the pressure.
Seymour thought about the three. Schilder's a 7-footer way out there. Anderson will. The lefty has it again. Leaf Anderson. They are continuing to put distance between themselves and the defending champion Clark Penguins. Timeout here at the Walter Price Fitness Center. With a 10-0 run, the Whatcom Orcas have a 23-point lead. We'll be back. You're watching the NWAC Championships on STSPN.
Company Retreat with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Some of you may be wondering why we're wood carving.
What are we learning from this?
Details. Small details. Like this right here. Not bad. Now Captain Bob knows about the details. Style, comfort,
And power.
power.
Yep. It's for you. Giving you our best never stops. Thank you for flying Alaska.
And take a visit with some of the people over on the couch over there.
Yeah, I was going to talk to the ref here, but he looks a little busy, so let's just mosey on our way over to the Subway couch, the Subway lounge, as we like to call it, guys. Got some downtime right now. Watcom up by 23 points. I think we have, 6 different ladies here from Watcom, is that correct? We've got Watcom students. Any trivia question, does anybody know when Watcom last won a men's basketball championship? It's a trick question. It's never happened. You guys are 14 and a half minutes away from going. How excited are you right now?
We're pretty excited. We want to root for the team as much as we can, so we hope they win.
Yeah, you all play on the basketball team, right? So what does it mean for you to actually be able to come out and support the guys?
No, you got it.
No, they're speechless right now. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Steve. Well, you got to like what they see. There's nothing to complain about if you're a Orca fan. As here, Clark trying to cut into that deficit. Berg with the putback ends the 10-0 run.
Their first point of the second half, Justin.
Now a steal, and it goes off the foot of Schilder, and it's going to stay with Clark. So first timeout early in the half by Coach Kirk didn't really amount to much, but second timeout, this is a good response from the Penguins.
They got to get something. David Dunham at halftime telling Steve Willits he would like to hold him to 25. Well, my goodness. He can't complain about this.
Here's Hawkins, lets a three go and gets it.
Here we go. If you're a Penguin fan, something to give them life.
5 quick points, and it's now an 18-point lead, and we're going to get a timeout by Watcom.
And that's usually what happens. Good call there by head coach Alec Kirk. Let the pressure and defense create some energy for your offense.
We got a timeout by the Orcas, a 20-second timeout. Centralia College is your college for associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, job training. Apply now to get a jump on classes and financial aid. Application is easy and free. You belong at Centralia College. Visit www.centralia.edu for details. So, Scott, 18 points. That's lots of time left here for Clark to try and get themselves back into it. Aside from Devin Hawkins filling it up from behind the arc, they really have struggled, though, to find some other sort of offense.
Yeah, Berg, again, normally they have so many weapons to go to every single night, and the lid on the rim right now for the Penguins, but they got to decide, we can't go after and get this lead all at once as they have the defensive pressure. Let's just try and get some easy buckets, and let's work our way and chip away at this big lead.
Long lead pass to break that press, but it does take some seconds off the shot clock as the Orcas have just 15 left to shoot.
One thing the Penguins have is they have depth as far as the defensive energy it's going to take to get back in this ball game. They got plenty of kids who can rotate and are used to doing it.
Dribbled the ball, it was off a foot and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Orcas. 1 second on the shot clock, however, so the Orcas will have to draw something up to get a quick look at the rim. Thomas to inbounds.
Officials telling head coach for Clark Penguins, Alex Kirk, to kind of get back in his box. Now we're seeing some animation from him.
Anderson had to contort wildly. Did well just to get the shot to the rim, but the Penguins have it moving the other way. Paulson all the way to the rim. Couldn't get it to drop, but he does draw the foul. The diminutive Micah Paulson taking it in amongst the trees.
And that's okay. Did a good job using his body, as you see the foul there on the replay, to get a foul. Make sure you're going to get the shot of the outstretched long arms there, shoulders, but he goes to the line. This is exactly what they need. It stops the clock and lets them get back in a little bit at a time.
Paulson, a 77% free throw shooter for the season. Knocks down the first, his third point of tonight. The foul went against Leif Anderson. That is his third. Second free throw short. Still some pressure here being applied by the Penguins, but the Orcas handle it. They've taken care of the ball pretty well tonight. Inside. Schilder had his pass deflected. That's great defense. And right back, Deion Thomas plays a little defense of his own to steal it back for Whatcom.
So defeating for the Clark Penguins here. They get the stop and the turnover, and then Watcom doing a great job right back and using the rest of this time.
Seymour pulls up, fades, drops. Matthew Seymour showing the full arsenal to build the lead back up to 19 for the Orcas.
Sometimes you tip your cap. Brian Berg had good defense. It was just a great shot.
Mathis's three is off the mark. Rebound, and they're going to get Barrel going over the back of Seymour.
Trying to weather the storm are the Penguins here from Vancouver, Washington. Started a little bit of the mojo coming on, but that foul going to stop it, but they continue here with pressure. They'll try and get a turnover.
Yeah, the Clark Penguins did a good job there, Scott, of kind of manufacturing some energy, making some shots, but you look up at the scoreboard and they still find themselves down by 19 points. Here's Thomas, great job getting it up ahead to Schilder to break that press.
You're Clark, that's okay. You left him 20 seconds. That's what you want to do.
Trying to go around Bays, and Bays got him with the body. He draws the foul. Just the third team foul on Clark here in the second half. Third personal on Bays.
12-11 left to go in this one. Trying to crawl their way back. It's okay. They got some fouls to give.
Anderson holds it for Whatcom. He's got 16 points tonight. Him and Seymour have done all the damage for Whatcom. Schilder has it go off his fingertips. Not a great entry pass there.
No, and Kirk goes back to a man-to-man defense. He's switched up a little bit. His big 6'10 guy, Martin, he tried him in the first half. Hawkins doing a good job bodying up on Schilders. Here comes Paulson.
Paulson right to the rim again, and he's fouled yet again. Micah Paulson. A couple of strong moves here on back-to-back possessions for Clark. As Hawkins gives him some words of encouragement too there as he heads back to the free throw line.
I like Micah Paulson, what he's trying to do, the 6'1 freshman out of Union High School in Vancouver. He's trying to get to the rim, create some energy, stop the clock, and get to the line, and he knocks down the first.
And we noted it was a pretty fruitless endeavor in the first half for Clark, but they are sticking with it and trying to maybe draw some fouls. You know, if they could get the Orcas in some foul trouble or, you know, get the team fouls up there, it could help them try and make a comeback here. Again, 1 of 2, though, for Paulson.
It's how they're attacking the rim. In the first half, we were talking about that. They would stop. They wouldn't go deep enough into the basket like they are doing, like you've seen Paulson on a couple trips before they were going in, kind of hesitating, stopping as a foul is, and that's you're giving the big fella and the defenders some time and reach to get out and defend.
Paulson's going to be whistled for the foul here for Clark. They had Anderson trapped there just across the timeline. But it's a foul, a first personal on Micah Paulson.
For the Watcom Orcas, boy, this 11:31 cannot go fast enough.
Ball bounced off the foot of,
yeah.
Thought it went off of Bays. One official had it as an over and back that we're going to call Thomas. for having it bounce off his foot. Coach Kirk is incensed at the Clark bench. I think his main complaint is that the official closest to the call.
We're seeing, we thought we saw the replay there for a second. Here we're back to live action.
Thought the official closest to the call called it in his favor, and then somebody who didn't have as good a view came over and overruled. Now we got another reach-in foul on Paulson.
Paulson did a great job. He didn't go. He kept his feet down on Anderson, but when he drove to the left, instead of taking his right hand and trying to shuffle his feet and get to that point first and using his feet, he'd cross over with the left hand, and he got the silly foul, the reach foul.
Talked about maybe Watcom getting into foul trouble. It's now Clark that has 5 team fouls already here in this half. Strong move right to the rim, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Casey Leak, who drove right at Hawkins, who stood his ground, and Leak will get called for the charge.
And that's what you want to see from the sophomore out of Westland. Obviously, his father, the NBA pro, but that's exactly what you want your veteran players to do. Know when to stand in there and take one. And a good charge there for Hawkins.
11:09 time remaining in one of these teams' seasons. Right now, it's the defending champion Clark Penguins who are trailing. Good drive by Mathis. Swings it around to Bays. Wide open three. Won't fall. Too strong. Loose ball. A battle for it. And a foul called on David Bays. Reaching after it. His 4th personal, Scott.
So frustrating. Again, that time they did a much better job. They drive in, they drive deep and get the kick out. And Bays, normally a very good three-point shooter, just can't get it. That's kind of the story of the night for Clark. Their shooting woes continue here.
You see this defensive intensity by Clark. They're playing as though, it's a late game situation. In some ways it is with 10.5 minutes to play. They're down by 19 points, 18 points.
They need some urgency.
Seymour, fake the 3, takes the 2, doesn't fall for him. Hawkins with the rebound.
Deep sigh of relief as Seymour, that's the first miss he's had in a while.
Here's Hawkins, another 3 ball, and it's good again. Devon Hawkins.
Hitch your wagons, Clark Penguins to the Hawkins train right now. He's all you got.
15 points, coming on 5 3-pointers. Near turnover, but Seymour, and he gets hit hard as he pump faked with the man coming behind him.
And that was unintentional. Again, he just came down. He was trying to make a play on the ball and just the wrong place, the wrong time.
Yeah, it looked really bad, but it was one of those where, like you said, Darius Mathis had only intentions of trying to get a block, but when the shot fake like that, you're underneath the guy who's airborne. It's not going to end well for the guy underneath the hoop. They come out to take a look and make sure that Matthew Seymour is okay. We'll step aside really quickly here. You're watching the NWAC Championships on STSPN.
Company Retreat with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Drum circles are all about getting in sync with your teammates. And when we're in sync, it shows in how we focus on our customers. Faster, friendlier, and higher customer satisfaction.
Sometimes you have to improvise to meet your customers' needs.
Giving you our best never stops. Thank you for flying along.
Back here on the campus of Everett Community College, you're looking right there at Matthew Seymour, leading scorer tonight for the Whatcom Orcas. A big reason why they've got a 15-point lead, and he took a big hit. You see him demonstrating right there. Probably a blow to the head. Steve Willits is down there on the sideline. Steve, what can you tell from your perspective?
Yeah, just about the same thing that you guys are able to see, only a little bit closer. He almost looked as though he was trying to stretch his neck out a little bit. I'm sure the head is one issue, but having the neck hit the ground the way it did too, and shooting back up, I don't think did him any good either. So we'll see if he comes back into the game.
Now, we'll have you keep an eye on that, Steve, and we'll keep an eye out to see how that affects the Whatcom Orcas, because you're obviously very concerned, Scott, for the young man's health, but looking at it from a basketball perspective, a big loss offensively for Watcom.
There's no doubt. I mean, he's been feeling it since we started this game. He just actually missed a rare miss, a little spot-up jumper from 8-9 feet, which was rare for him, and so that's a loss. You'll see what happens. Somebody else has got to come in and pick up where he might have left off. We'll see if he gets back in the game.
Well, he's actually up off the bench and in the huddle. As you worry about head injuries, and it's a big focus of all athletics these days, making sure that somebody isn't rushed back in when potential head injury or concussion, and we have no idea. He's shaking the hands of his teammate there, but you want to make sure the young man's safe.
And now the officials trying to determine, now we still have to implement or execute whatever that foul was. Who's going to line? Was it a intentional foul, or what grade, or level of foul it was?
Well, and from your perspective, I'd be interested because, we've played basketball before. That's a play that happens a lot in all levels, is that you got somebody coming from behind, you give the pump fake, and collisions and things like that happen.
I've been Seymour many a day down at the Y, let me tell you. I've been on the unfortunate end of just in the wrong place at the wrong time and gotten my noggin knocked around a couple times.
And I think kudos to the refs here for deciding that it is just a common foul.
Yep.
2 shots. It'll be Dion Thomas who goes to the line to shoot the free throws. I think with an injury that Coach Dunham has the choice of who he wants to send to the line. Thomas, a 71%er, makes 1 of 2. 52-66, midway through the second half right now. We have just under 10 minutes to play in this second semifinal. Winner to face Spokane tomorrow. This is Hawkins, and it's good again. Devin Hawkins, all the offense that Clark wants here in the second half.
6 for 8 from the triple line right now for Hawkins. His season high is 15. He's crushing it.
Hawkins, a 37% three-point shooter on the season, well above that tonight.
They've stayed away, has Watcom lately going inside to Childers. They've been working the outside.
Long cross-court path. Anderson forced to shoot with 2 on the shot clock. He misses. Great offensive rebound, though. The hustle from Leak and from Thomas to keep that ball alive.
Sometimes the breaks just aren't going your way, and that time Clark saw one more time the break's not going your way.
Good in the air pass there. Leak couldn't finish, though. Battle for the rebound, and we're going to get a foul underneath. It's going to go against a 7-footer for Whatcom, Logan Schilder.
And Hawkins right now, he's going to stay in. They should, because he is battling. He is the Energizer bunny that Clark needs right now, as he's battling on the defensive end, giving up huge height there, but he looks like he's taking a breather here with 8:53.
Might be a little bit gassed. Big Bend Community College students had the highest student achievement points per student in the Washington State Community College system in 2014-2015. Excellence in teaching and learning is the goal at Big Bend Community College. 9:53 left to go in the second semifinal of the night. We will be back with more of the NWAC Championships on STSPN right after this.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
Pull him up one more time. They need 8:53 out of him.
Back here at the Walter Price Fitness Center, as we were talking during the break about Devin Hawkins, the instant offense all night for the Clark Penguins. Maybe running out of gas, Scott, but there's not much left in the season. You got to ride that thing till it's on E, right?
Tonight he's an electric hybrid. I don't care. Just plug him in, fill him up, whatever they got to do. He's the only one who is even keeping him just sniffing around this game right now, 52-39 with 8:53 left.
Right, that Clark is within 13. It's the closest it's been in quite a while. Hawkins, though, is on the bench. Stevens wildly nearly loses it, but Mathis has it. Jumper is good, fading to his left. Darius Mathis.
Nice job, squared up as he was in the air and got a good look.
Long pass up to Thomas. Maybe he had a chance to go one-on-one, but he's going to slow things down. Now underneath, there's another shot fake. Up and good. As we got a goaltending call, but it doesn't matter. It was going in anyways. Quinn Doherty took advantage of that pressure by Clark for an easy bucket.
I don't think we've given enough credit. Sorry, there's a shot, and there's another one, Mathis.
Yeah, Mathis for 3. He's starting to warm up. He had 3 points for the game just a minute ago, but back-to-back jumpers gives him 8. Near steal, Berg. Nice hands to keep that one alive near the scorer's bench. This is Paulson crisscrossing to Mathis. Has his shot blocked. Reamer with the block and tells his team to slow it down, but they don't listen.
And before the Mathis 3, I was going to give props, a little pub there to Deion Thomas, the freshman guard out of Kentridge High School in Renton, because he's actually done a great job for Watcom.
A spill there as Darius Mathis was cutting through the lane, and he got shoved by Reamer. Isaac Reamer maybe doesn't even know his own strength, Scott.
I love the negotiation skills on display here. Reamer arguing that he wasn't the one who got in his way as Reamer heads to the bench.
Well, he heads to the bench with 4 fouls. It's also 7 team fouls on Whatcom. So 1-1 right now for Mathis. Chance to make this single-digit game. First one is good. It's been a long time since the Penguins have been within 9.
And it's been a struggle. The struggle is real. That has been real for the Clark Penguins. Even to get within 10 here is a momentous occasion.
Well, you can feel, though, the energy building from them. They're on a 19-5 run. Here's a corner 3. Barrel's got it. A 6-point game just like that. We've got ourselves an entertaining finish to come here in semifinal number 2.
And if you dozed off like many here at the gym tonight, wake up. The Penguins making a game out of it with 7:30 left to go.
A 6-point Whatcom lead. They've led by as many as 21 tonight, but feeling the pressure right now from the defending champions. What a move in the lane by Deion Thomas to quell the tide.
That was a la Jordan. Started with the left, then came back right at the end with the right. What a beautiful finish.
Stevens' pass was nearly stolen. Goes to Hawkins, picked up the ball and traveled.
His back foot slid a little bit as an untimely, unforced turnover there for the Clark Penguins as they're climbing Everest right now. And they're at base camp maybe with 7:02 left.
A long climb to go, but they still have time to do it. Just under 7 minutes to play. Deion Thomas, the steady influence, gets it over to Anderson. Anderson down to Doherty. Orca's milking the clock. Thomas in the middle, lob up and in. The left hand of the 7-footer, Logan Schilder, right there to tip that one in off the feed from Thomas.
Oh, that's putting it on a dime. That's a highlight reel.
Hawkins can't hit, but Berg has a rebound as he's falling out of bounds, and the officials are going to say you cannot call a timeout as you are falling out of bounds. So a little bit of an interpretation here, Scott. If Berg's got 2 feet on the ground and is leaning out of bounds, I believe he's entitled to call the timeout. If he is in the air,
right,
he is not entitled to call the timeout.
Exactly. The difference right there, black and white, as far as if his feet are on the ground, he can. But once he leaves his feet, he no longer can. And they're either going to take a timeout to deliberate or
they gave him the timeout, and they're going to make it a full timeout, so we'll step aside. 6:23 left to go here in the second semifinal between Whatcom and Clark. It's a 10-point game. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the NWAC Championships on STSPN.
Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence.
Back inside the Walter Price Fitness Center. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Steve Willits, who has some information on Seymour.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as soon as you say that, he goes running into the game. So Seymour, in fact, checking back in. The athletic trainer down here, the NWAC trainer, did clear him from any kind of a concussion. It was just a matter of waiting a few minutes just to make sure that he was okay. They deemed that he is fine now, and he's back in the game.
Excellent, Steve. Thank you so much for keeping an eye on that. And I think excellent news, Scott, for the Orcas. As another look, they've gone to the scores table one more time to take a look at the replay. You can fall in love with the replay system. It's I think a little bit of a criticism of the NCAA game sometimes, and here we have the opportunity to bring you all these broadcasts and live streaming on SDSPN. A reminder that all the action tomorrow will be streamed on SDSPN. The women's championship game will come your way. Lane versus Peninsula. That's a 5:30 tip, followed by the men's game at 8 p.m. The Spokane Sasquatch against one of these two teams here tonight. The officials have it somewhat sorted out as the players, fans, and yours truly await them to get this thing back and going. We got a good ball game here picking up in the second half as Clark isn't going to let this chance at a repeat go by without putting up a pretty big fight.
Well, it's March Madness. We'll see if the madness continues.
Underneath, that's a miss by Barrel. Missed opportunity there for the Clark Penguins. Long cross-court pass. Watcom in no hurry, nor should they be. Tie up here. That's Seymour back in the game. Schilder puts a shoulder into Hawkins, and they do wave it off.
And that's the second charge that Hawkins has drawn, and Seymour back in the game. We talked so much, what a great night, 18 points. We'll see if his defensive side, because that's really when he went down hard to the floor. It's kind of when Clark started their climb back into this.
Under 6 minutes to play. Stevens negotiates and kicks to Hawkins. That one rims around and doesn't fall. Rebound to the Orcas.
Hawkins wanted that.
Zigzagging the ball up court. Watcom now again. Would be smart to burn off as much clock as they could every time, as long as they can get good looks, like this one in the corner. Kelly for three.
That's a run killer right there. All the momentum, little by little, Penguins had. Berg with it. See what they can do.
Yeah, Berg needs to get himself going here. Stevens nearly at his pocket pick, but a foul is going to be called against Connor Kelly. Let's go down to Steve Willits, our sideline reporter here behind the Clark bench.
Yeah, I was just noticing something rather interesting at the last timeout. We saw that the referees were over looking at the screen. I thought they were trying to figure out if he went out of bounds or not. It turns out they were actually using STSPN to review a previous play that happened about 3 minutes earlier to see if a shot was in fact a two-pointer or a three-pointer. So once again, STSPN.com factoring into this ballgame.
Thank you, Steve. You always want to get those calls right, as you never know if this thing's going to become a one-point game or so at some point down the stretch. Stevens makes his first free throw.
Oh, yeah, this is for the championship, going to the championship. Clark winning it all last year. Trying to two-peat.
Another free throw missed by the Penguins. And now the Orcas get a chance to milk some more time off the clock. And we got a 10-second call there. You can use the shot clock as your guide, Scott.
Outstanding work by the Penguins there. That's a lot of hustle. And they finally get rewarded in the payoff there, and they'll get the ball back with 5:10 left to go in this one. Still mighty hill to climb.
Yeah, a lot of work left here for Clark, down 12 points. Pull up is Paulson. That will not fall for him, and Schilder just sheds Hawkins and corrals the rebound.
It's what Clark does, but I don't know if that's the greatest offensive look they had the opportunity for right there. Is
Berg with his hands up, almost saying it couldn't have been me, trying not to foul, but he got a leg and tripped up Seymour, and we are going to catch those free throws on the other side of this break. 4:47 left to go in the game. Watcom still up 12. You're watching the NWAC Championships on STSPN.
I'm Chef Lombardi, and I teach at the Inland Northwest Culinary Academy here at Spokane Community College. Part of the competencies in our pastry arts and culinary program is service learning, where students actually go out in the community, share what they've learned. We're very proud of where our graduates are working. You'll find them in all aspects of the hospitality industry, locally and in the Pacific Northwest. We get to see them have success. I'm Chef Lombardi. This is my college and my community.
Back inside the Walter Price Fitness Center for the final conclusion of the last semifinal game of the night. Matthew Seymour is at the line to shoot a couple of free throws and try and extend this 12-point lead for Watcom.
Orca's doing an awesome job just hanging on. They handle, for the most part, they've handled the pressure that the Penguins have put on as he misses that. But boy, just a teeny tiny crack in the door for the Penguins to come back.
That's a big miss on the front end. Here's Berg for a big three. Up, no. Schilder couldn't corral the rebound. Putback is missed. Bays, though, gets it back for Clark. Berg thought about another three, goes inside, and he is hammered.
Excellent decision by Bays to get the rebound instead of trying going back up, get it out to the perimeter for a three. Berg just trying to make something happen as he's done all season long.
Schilder picks up his fourth foul tonight. One more, and he'll be disqualified. Berg, an 86% free throw shooter, nearly automatic from the charity stripe. The team as a whole, though, Scott, maybe not their best free throw shooting effort tonight.
7 for 12. Stephen Whitman on our stats, doing an outstanding job as always. It's not horrible, but you know, in a comeback, you gotta have every tool in the box hitting all cylinders.
Second free throw is good for Berg. Chance for Clark to set up their pressure.
Good concentration there by Berg. Paulson in no man's land.
That's a tough inbound there. Nobody really running towards the ball. Interesting setup. There's a foul committed as Thomas gets it across the midcourt line in time. That's going to be another 1-and-1 situation. Watcom not yet shooting the double bonus. Just 9 team fouls.
And the Clark faithful would probably correct me or no, but it's very highly probable that Clark hasn't had a lot of experience running a press to come back to this year.
Bays to the rim without the big man in there. Schilder sitting down on the bench, and he is successful getting to the rim and drawing another foul.
And you want this game now to even slow down even more if you're a Clark Penguin fan, and that's exactly what they're doing. Bays, nice job to attack here. Stops the clock and sends him to the line.
Yeah, if you can win the free throw contest between the two teams and force just a couple of turnovers, you can work yourself back into this pretty quickly. As of now, a 9-point lead for Watcom. They've led virtually the entire game. At times, as many as 23 points. Rebound is missed, but an offensive rebound is Berg. Now underneath the Hawkins. Up, count it, and the foul.
All the bigs for Watkins right now kind of on a tightrope with 4 fouls. And here's the first with the 5th, but how much can we talk about Hawkins as mom and dad are sitting over in the sidelines there. He has just been the spark plug time and time again. When the candles burn out, he just fires it right back up, and the big spark for the Penguins.
Devin Hawkins, a 6'4" sophomore from West Lynn, Oregon, has got 20 points tonight as we've got a player for Watcom. That's Casey Leak, who picked up his 5th foul on that, so he's going to take a seat on the bench, which is getting this partial timeout here as the Orcas are trying to kind of calm things down. It is getting a little dicey as Clark's cut it to 7 with just over 4 minutes to play here in the second half.
Hawkins, I want another 4-year scholarship, baby. Put me down. A lot of scouts here over the weekend. What a tremendous event this has been here in Everett.
Free throw is good. 21 points. Orcas dealing with this pressure. They've dealt with it fairly successfully all night. And again, the long baseball pass is effective.
6 points. Mark it down. 4:06 left to go.
Anderson holding, looking to get this offense going with 10 on the shot clock. Time to move is now for the Orcas. 5 seconds. Down low to Reamer. Spins, muscles, up and in. Isaac Reamer.
Hawkins did a good job moving his feet, but not quick enough.
Berg thought about the 3. Hawkins surprisingly didn't. With as well as he shot it, seems like he should go up every time. Berg inside, no. Rebound, Hawkins a little too aggressive.
Berg's got to be frustrated, understandably. He was right there underneath the lid, and you just couldn't put it down in an easy gimme. And that's just kind of been how it's gone here for the Clark Penguins all night long.
Yeah, Brian Berg averages 17 points a game. Had 26, as we said last night. He's got 10 games, Scott, of 20 or more points this season. 4th in the NWAC in three-point field goal percentage. He's got just 10 tonight. Isaac Reamer's free throw is up and good. He's got 7 quiet points for Watcom.
Reamer doing a good job. Had the ball on the block. Had Hawkins on his back and put it down. And there he does a good job from the charity stripe.
Smooth stroke for the post player for the Orcas. Back up to a 10-point lead as we approach the 3-minute mark. Math is strong, and he's fouled as he's on his way up. He will go to the free throw line.
Alex Kirk likes this. You either drive and you got it. If you're going to go in, you got to be confident you're going to draw the foul. Otherwise, you want the kick and try for 3 to cut this and make this interesting going down.
With all the success that Clark has had going inside, no surprise that Schilder is up off the bench and going to check back into this game.
David Dunham, the head coach there for the Orca, 3rd year. He's seen enough, as you said there, Justin.
But he does have 4 fouls, so we'll keep an eye on that.
What a swing, though. They had it 6 points there with 4:06, now 3:09. It's the call there.
Well, Mathis kind of gave the pump fake at the free throw line, and he faked out his own man, Glenn Barrell.
It's like the center in football moving the ball.
It was.
Tried a little
encroachment.
Trickery, yeah.
Schilder gets it up ahead. Reamer thought about going underneath. We had a collision at midcourt involving Schilder and Paulson. You would not think Paulson would want to be on the end of that. The 6'1" guard tangling up with the 7-foot center.
Well, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And when you're 7 foot, It's a long way down. It looks like the big fella's all right, though. Here comes another big fella, Reamer.
Yeah, Reamer giving the ball up. 10 on the shot clock here for the Orcas. Trying to build on the 10-point lead. Reamer. Out to Thomas. 2 to shoot. Up and off the mark. That's the worst miss of the night for Matthew Seymour. I don't think that was a good job utilizing the shot clock there by the Orcas.
It's hard to be in such a big lead in the old cliche, playing not to lose position here is Seymour. He just hasn't been the same since he came back. No doubt he took a hard hit. So that's expected. And Clark will see if they can take another jab here and see if they can get something going. 2:33 left.
Yeah, they got it to within 6, but it's now back up to 10. Here's Barrel. He's been cold tonight. That one won't drop for him. Boy, it was a good-looking shot, and it nearly went, but nearly doesn't count. Seymour, nobody thought he was really shooting that, as the Orcas have been taking 30 seconds off the shot clock nearly every time. Fluttering pass finds its way now to Anderson. The lefty shot is no good. Him and Reamer collide. Reamer didn't have anybody on him, but he didn't think about shooting it. He's going to reset out to Thomas, who's going to get fouled as time has ticked down to 2:01 left in this game. And Watcom has managed to preserve their lead here in the second half, despite a great effort by Clark to get it down to 6.
They've done an excellent job. They've tried to be patient when they had to be patient. They didn't turn it off too much, turn it over. Again, this guy at the line, can't say enough. He's had his moments, but he has done an outstanding job tonight, just being a leader on the floor, only a freshman. That's a hard job being the general when they're firing at you. All guns are going.
Second free throw's good. It's an 11-point lead. Now Clark has got to go fast now, and they've got to get buckets. They are running out of time. Berg gets a great look at a 3, but it won't drop. Hawkins gives him a second possession. Bays. That also won't go.
You got to know who's hot. Hawkins went to his favorite spot right at the top of the key, but they didn't find him.
Here's Anderson playing keep away. Time ticking down, though, on 10 seconds. Schilder all the way to the rim. Oh, and Paulson's going to get called for an intentional foul. That's the right call, Scott.
It is. He had to climb the ladder, the poor guy, but boy, Schilders, he was just getting his steps right. He was ready for throwing a hard one down. And Paulson did all he had to do. It was the right call, I agree.
You look at it from Paulson's perspective, you certainly don't want to, be a fly on the, the side of Schilder that he's just going to swat away. So you want to make sure that he doesn't get the bucket. But the only way to really do that is to not make a play on the ball and just grab his shoulders the way he did.
He was behind. It was a tough position for Paulson, so frustrating. He hits that.
Schilder gets the second of 2 free throws, and the Orcas will keep control of the basketball. Looking like they're going to reserve their spot in tomorrow night's championship game. Spokane already winners tonight over Big Bend. And Whatcom looking like they're going to take care of the defending champion, Clark Penguins, if they can hold on for another minute 30 as Thomas is fouled.
And Childers hangs on the rim as he didn't get that opportunity on the last possession. But if Watcom looks like they're going to win Spokane. I mean, Watcom the 3rd seed out of the North, and Spokane the 2nd seed, and that's why it's March Madness.
Yeah, all these teams so competitive, so closely. The divisions, most of them, very tightly fought divisions. Not that much separating these two teams. And tonight, Watcom, thanks to some great shooting in that first half, they just never let Clark get that close in this game. They're up by 14 with a minute and a half left.
Hawkins wants it.
He won't get it, though. Paulson pulls the trigger from the outside. Berg corrals the rebound. Hawkins, no. Paulson will shoot again and miss again. Schilder playing volleyball with himself out there, tipping it around, and Leif Anderson is going to head to the free throw line to shoot a couple more. Becoming academic now here, Scott, with a 14-point lead and just 70 seconds left in this one.
Alex Kirk, again, so hard to be on the top of the championship last year. What a tremendous season. Everybody coming after you hard every single night. It's a long season here. They got where they wanted to, back to the Final Four, but it just ran out of gas, and unfortunately the shooting bug kind of caught them tonight, and you cannot win a ball game shooting as poorly as they have tonight from the minute the buzzer went off to start.
And Anderson at the free throw line, but we're seeing Coach Dunham kind of empty his bench out here with just 1:10 left as Anderson's second free throw is good. It's a 16-point lead. And Schilder's going to check out of this game. 18 points tonight for Leif Anderson.
Double-double for Schilder, 10 points, 18 rebounds.
Ball rolling all the way up as Mathis picks it up and promptly fires it toward the coaching staff on the Clark bench, which is not what they want. Frustrating night for the defending champions, as we said. Well, we've seen both semifinals here tonight, Scott, on STSPN. We saw Spokane take care of Big Bend in a mild upset. We're seeing Whatcom take care of Clark in a probably a little bit bigger upset. What do you think of the matchup tomorrow night between Whatcom and Spokane potentially?
Well, it's all, again, about the shooting. So many of these teams, Big Bend, again, they love outside the arc. And if they're hot, it's so tough to stop. Watcom, I like their maturity. I think they've grown. Here's a big three.
Connor Kelly
wow.
Making a shot from where he made one earlier on the court. It's a 19-point lead for the Whatcom Orcas. Hawkins for three, good. A great effort by Hawkins in defeat tonight. But really tonight's all about Whatcom from Bellingham knocking off the defending champions here with 24 seconds left.
Congratulations, David Dunham, Mike Wade, Pat Voigt, the coaching staff. They've done a tremendous job tonight, and I think it will be an interesting final tomorrow. The Orcas and the Vikings, as Coach Dunham there gets congratulated by his staff, as he should. He had a huge lead, and sometimes that's tough to keep that intensity and energy going. They've done a great job.
The perimeter play of Leif Anderson and Matthew Seymour combined with the man patrolling the paint, Logan Schilder, was enough for Whatcom to get the victory here tonight. The final horn sounds, 74-58, our final score. The Orcas knock off the defending champion Penguins in a riveting semifinal game, and they will again meet Spokane tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Whatcom and Spokane for the men's NWAC championship. Our player of the game tonight, Scott?
Matthew Seymour.
Matthew Seymour, I agree. Young man shot the ball lights out, took a tough blow to the head at one point, had to sit out the game. No, not surprisingly, Scott, that was the point when Clark made maybe their biggest run of the game tonight, but they could never get in closer than 6, and in the end they win by 16. Let's go down to Steve Willits, who is standing by with our player of the game.
He's waiting just a second here, trying to get the head coach as well.
Now Steve is, successfully made contact with Matthew Seymour. They may try to head over to the Subway Lounge. It's one of Steve's favorite places.
I think they are.
Tonight, and it was really a great effort by Watcom. Coach David Dunham, a lot of credit goes to him, his staff, and the players tonight for how well they handled Clark in dispatching the defending champions rather handily. Steve looks like he's ready with our player of the game and our winning coach. Let's go down to Steve.
Thanks, guys. We have our player of the game and our winning coach both heading to the championship tomorrow night. First, Matthew Seymour. Matthew, Juneau, Alaska. So I'm guessing you've fallen on ice a few times. I'm guessing you've got kind of a hard head because of it.
Yeah.
How's the head feeling right now?
It's feeling okay. I mean, Alaska, so.
Now, tell us about this game. You came out shooting some threes early. You got hot. What happened there in the first half?
Well, really, it was all Dion Thomas, my point guard over there. He was setting me up really well, and all of my teammates were doing a great job of just facilitating, getting me really nice open looks.
Now, you scored 28 points last time in the game on January 3rd against Spokane. You get to play them again tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about that matchup.
Well, Spokane, they play really hard, and they like to score, and we like to play defense. So
there we go. So I'm going to let Matthew Seymour go and celebrate with his teammates. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow night. Now we got Coach David Dunham here. Coach, first of all, congratulations. Watcom, the best they've ever done in this tournament is 5th. You guys have far exceeded that. You're going to the championship.
You know, it's one of those things that we knew that our defense is what was going to carry us this season and help us to get to this point. We had expectations to be here. It wasn't the route that we wanted to go, but it's really exciting to be here, to have a plan at the beginning of the year and see that plan come through. I'm very excited for these young men. They've really earned this opportunity. And, you know, we played Spokane earlier. They're a good team. They're a good team that we got to really prepare for. But we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Going down your roster and looking at some of these players too, just looking at the hometowns, you're much more homegrown than a lot of other schools. Was that kind of a plan from the get-go, or is that just kind of the way it happened this time around?
Well, the way I look at it is, you know, you got to give these local kids an opportunity to move on. And I feel like it's our job as coaches to develop that local talent as much as we can. You know, sometimes you get players that are really good from out of our recruiting area, and you got to take chances on those players. But we really try to focus on the guys that are local and try to develop that talent that way. And you see, if you do put the time into your local talent, that they could be successful, just as successful as the kids coming from other states.
These are always tough games. You have to play back to back to back, 24 hours away from the championship. What do you tell the guys in the locker room, and what's the plan for tonight? Do you go back and do you watch film of the Spokane game? Do you watch additional film? What do you do to prepare for the next 24 hours?
Well, I'm going to let them rest. I'll do, you know, our coaching staff will do the preparation for the game tomorrow. They need and deserve some rest. This is the time where I don't get sleep. This is the time where I'm up for 72 hours. But, you know, they deserve the opportunity to rest, and they'll watch film tomorrow. But tonight they're gonna enjoy this tonight and get some rest.
I'll let you try to go and enjoy it with your team for a few minutes. But again, congratulations once again. A big game for you guys tonight, and best of luck tomorrow in the championship.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Steve, thank you so much. And a big night, a big win for Coach Dunham and his boys tonight. And they will face an even bigger test tomorrow night in the championship game, Scott, against the Spokane Sasquatch. It should be an outstanding game between two really good basketball teams.
It should. You know, if you're not familiar with the Northwest Athletic Conference, it's really entertaining. It's high energy. It's just great athletes doing so much for these kids. Some of these kids either had an opportunity to go and play this sport at the next level and maybe all kinds of different situations, but giving these kids somewhere to go and flourish and show their talent, it's just an exciting league. It's an exciting play. And tomorrow's championship, both the men's and the women's, should be a thrill, fun, entertaining, and must-watch STSPN broadcast.
We will have all the coverage here on STSPN. The men's game, Spokane against Watcom, a rematch of a regular season tilt between those two schools on January the 3rd. Watcom beat Spokane up in Bellingham 86-82. We can only hope for a game that good tomorrow night. It's been a lot of fun here, these semifinal games, both men's and women's. Want to thank the entire crew, the STSPN Productions. You have two big contests, as we said, tomorrow. Women's Championship, 5:30, Lane versus Peninsula. The Men's Championship, 8 o'clock, Whatcom versus Spokane, all right here on STSPN.
Huge thank Todd Elvig, the executive producer, the engineer, the man, the myth, the legend, the five-tool player, and the entire production staff. They have literally got cots here at the Everett Stadium, Walt Price Center. They have been here night and day. Unbelievable work by the crew here at STSPN.
I completely echo those sentiments there by Scott. I want a big thanks to our statistician, Stephen Whitman, down there getting the interviews, Steve Willits, and Scott Oshman. I'm Justin Morris, and that'll do it for our Saturday night basketball coverage. I hope you tune in tomorrow night for the championship coverage of the NWAC championships right here on STSPN.